What's going on, everyone? BG Wizard back for another video. Today we're doing the melee DPS tier list. So it's going to be melee DPS for rated battlegrounds. Rated battlegrounds specifically. War Within Season 1. Let's get into it. So starting in the D tier, we got the bottom of the barrel. And so for rated battlegrounds, I don't see these classes bringing much. Prot Pally, Prot Warrior, Brewmaster Monk. And the only exception I will say is there's one player that plays Brewmaster that has been on pretty high rated teams. So I'm excited to see what kind of tricks he pulls out of his bag, but haven't seen any yet. Actually, haven't seen any of these characters play at rated battlegrounds. So I think these classes are not going to bring much to the table. Maybe a base sitter. I don't think they're great flag carriers. Obviously, they don't do great damage. They're all tanks. So that's an easy D tier. Let's move on to C tier. All right. So C tier, we're going to go Survival Hunter, Enhanced Shaman, Outlaw Rogue, and Blood DK. So starting at the left, which is obviously left to right is the best. So the best in C tier is going to be Blood DK. In previous seasons, we've seen Blood DK has been able to grip and grip and grip and grip healers. So the game becomes basically a 9v9, and the enemy team is forced to 2-heal. So I think that is still going to be maybe a relevant strategy. Haven't seen any yet queue on the ladder, but I think the ability is still there for it. So look to see more, maybe a couple Blood DKs in the future, but I'm still going to put them C tier, and you know, they could move up if that strategy becomes a thing in War Within. Next, Outlaw Rogue has rogue abilities, not the best spec, not recommended. Enhanced Shaman, not recommended either. Lots of my Shaman friends are switching specs. And Survival, I think there's better specs than Survival for Hunters. So I'm going to put those three rounding out the back of the C tier as not recommended. Now we move into the B tier. B tier is what I consider the start of kind of the playable classes. So these are all, you know, maybe not recommended, but they are they're playable. So I'm going to start with the best class in B tier, which is Assassination Rogue. I actually saw Assassination Rogue top a rated battleground yesterday at a high rating. Like I'm talking like nearly 2K rated players, which right now, if we take a look at the ladder, like nobody's even 2K rated. So it was like near the top of the ladder. It's only day 2 or 3 of the season when I'm recording this. And anyways, the Rogue topped the whole battleground in damage. Assassination Rogue beat all the Warlocks, beat all the Boomkins. So Assassination Rogue can pump in a team fight, and it helps shut down the enemy team, garrotes, stuns, that kind of thing. So I actually think Assassination Rogue might be a sleeper pick here. I'm going to put them at the top of B tier. Obviously, they bring the rogue abilities, so like they obviously have stealth, so that on the map is very valuable. Obviously, sitting bases, hitting bases, having that stealth presence on the map keeps the enemy guessing, and then obviously bring natural rogue abilities like stuns on flag carriers. But yeah, the reason I'm putting Assassination at the top of B tier is I just saw them do like 330 million damage in a battleground. Topping the whole BG, beating Warlocks, everything like that. So I'm going to put them top of B tier. I actually think they could be a relevant spec for this season. So we'll see what happens. I've heard they're not as good as sub, but I definitely was very impressed with the damage that it was able to do. Next, we have the 2 Demon Hunter specs. So I'll start with the Havoc. Havoc doesn't seem like it does great damage right now, but Demon Hunters always have... This goes for both specs here, the Tank Demon Hunter and the Havoc. They always have the fastest movement speed in the game, so they can help support your bases, help defend bases, and get to them quickly across the map, or they can go take enemy bases and get there if there's somebody's ghosting. So they have the fastest ability to move around a map. That's why Demon Hunter's in the B tier. And I will just say for the Tank Demon Hunter, it actually could move up to S tier. It might be the best tank. We will see what happens this season, but right now I have them as the second best tank, so I'm going to put them at B tier because I just think the other tank spec is able to sit bases a lot better and has more utility in that way. So we'll see what happens, but right now I got Vengeance Demon Hunter as the second best tank. Next I have Feral Druid. Brings that stealth capability. Seems like okay damage, nothing special. And actually, Arms Warrior's the same, so these two seem like okay. I will say Arms Warrior brings the Mortal Strike, 50% reduced healing, so that makes it very valuable. And then the Druid spec has the stealth capability, so it's able to sit bases and kind of hit bases. So, okay, like I said, playable, but I'm not holding my breath waiting for these classes to be good. I think they're just okay right now. Next, let's move into the A tier. So A tier, we're going to start. It's going to be Frost DK, Fury Warrior, Windwalker. I will say, I'm not sure which spec of DK is better, but I'm pretty sure it's Unholy, and that's why Frost is in A tier. So if you could actually, depending on which spec is better, I could have got it wrong. Frost DK might actually be S tier, or maybe not. I have him A tier because I think Unholy is better. So just correct me in the comments. Let me know in the comments which DK spec is better, because I know DKs are really good right now. Anyways, top of the A tier, DK, because massive damage and obviously Chains of Ice, Death Grip, massive utility for a team. Pretty much every team right now has a DK. So yeah, huge damage and the utility of slowing the whole enemy team. It's going to make it top of B tier. Fury Warrior, very good class right now. Does a lot of damage. And yeah, I just say Fury Warrior is an excellent melee class right now. There could even be an argument to have Fury Warrior up here or top of A tier. Something like this could actually change like that. But I'll just leave it like this for now. But definitely know that Fury Warrior is very good right now. Next, I have Windwalker here, back of A tier. It seems like it's okay. Can do pretty good damage, pretty good kill damage, but not like amazing like the other specs that we still have to cover. So I'd say back of A tier, kind of recommended. You know, playable, recommended, hovering along the playable and recommended line. Fury Warrior is recommended, and DK is recommended. So that's gonna round out the A tier. Once again, DK recommended, Fury Warrior recommended, Windwalker playable, maybe recommended. Now we're going to get into the best S tier classes in the game. So I'm going to start at the back, Guardian Druid. I think it's the best base sitter probably, or one of them. And it has the incredible ability to stay alive and like spin a base for a long time. So, and then it's also, I think it's the best flag carrier. It has the stealth ability, it has the movement speed. So probably best base sitter and best flag carrier. For that reason, I'm putting it at the back of S tier as just the best tank in the game. So if it's the best, it's got to be S tier, right? That's pretty self-explanatory. Next, I got Ret Pally. I've seen Ret Pally's doing a lot of damage, especially in Battleground Blitz. They seem to be very popular. But in rated Battlegrounds, too, they can do a lot of damage. So Ret Pally going to be one of the best classes in the game. I'm going to put it at S tier here. Next, I got the best rogue spec, Subtlety. Subtlety is going to be the best rogue spec. Obviously, it's got a lot in its toolkit. Brings the stealth ability, brings the the ninja cap ability. Generally, every team always takes a rogue, or at least wants a rogue. So if you're always taking a rogue, and this is the best rogue spec, this is a guaranteed S tier spot. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. Pretty much best objective class in the game, and this is the best spec for that. So, Subtlety, take an S tier, best rogue spec. And then we got, although keep in mind, Assassination seems more like damage, and Subtlety seems more like objective. And then we got the top damage in the game, or one of the top damage in the game. Best melee damage, I think, is going to be Unholy DK. Once again, let me know in the comments if I'm getting my Frost and Unholy mixed up. And maybe they should both be here. I'm not actually sure. Could look like that. So I think the Frost DK and the Fury Warrior have the potential to move up. But just for the sake of this list and where my education level is at right now, I think Unholy DK, top damage on this list, brings Chains of Ice, brings the Death Grip, high utility, top dam. That's the list, guys. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe. Comment below what you think of the list. And I'll see you on the next one. Next, we're doing ranged DPS. So take a look at that. All right. See ya. Thanks.